Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is a new month, so that means it is time for a new island. I have challenged myself this year to do a new island with a new theme each month, and I have been very busy getting started on this new island. I have been traveling. I've done a really big move in my life, so I figured why not in the background work on this February island, and I want to show you what we've done so far. So our starting villagers are Shari, I'm not quite sure how you say her name. She's our sisterly villager, and Bam, he's our jock. Not the best villagers, not the worst. I am content with them. I was exclusively looking for peaches, so that was our main thing that I needed in an island, and I was looking for either a yellow or blue airport, which we got yellow. So the first day was mainly focused on racking up those Nook miles. I made a very poorly drawn heart and a very inconveniently placed snowman. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to put him so close to the airport, but hey. We then talked to Tom Nook, and as we were talking to him, I don't know, the way that Timmy turned his head and looked me directly into my soul freaked me out. I don't know why he's looking at me like that. We then made our first fishing rod, got our first tools so that we can gather our creatures. We planted some regret flowers, and we turned in those creatures to Tom Nook. Look at Timmy. Look at the way that he is looking at the screen. Isn't that creepy? I don't know why he's looking like that. We then were able to place down Blather's tent, and eventually we had accumulated 5,000 Nook miles, which was enough to pay off our first home loan. We ended the day by upgrading our house, getting our Nook Plus, so that we can finally get storage. I'm telling you, storage is the most important thing to have on your island. The next day was mainly spent on the Timmy shop building quest. He asked for us to bring all the materials to him, so we ended up going to some Nook Mile Islands to do so. On the Nook Mile Islands, we found Eunice. Eunice was cute enough to bring back, but I don't think that we are going to keep her. And we also found Cookie. Cookie I do want to keep, but we will have to change her home since it's that starter home. The lazy villager was a little bit harder for me to find. It took several Nook Mile tickets for me to find someone decent. I did eventually end up settling on bringing Stitches back, but we probably won't keep him either on the island. We then went back and gave Timmy all the materials, and he gave us the shop construction, which we ended up placing down on the beach, of course, next to the dock. That's how we roll. We then ended up catching our first sea bass. How lucky of us. And for some reason, Shari was a little bit mean. Maybe it's because I'm getting her name wrong. I don't know. We then were able to take some time to help a good friend. He's at least appreciative of all the hard work that we do. We then gathered all of the creatures that we made on Creature Mountain outside of the museum. We donated them, and I don't know how, we somehow ended up with a duplicate fossil already. I ended up placing it behind the museum. I was quite upset about it, so maybe I will go back and cry about it later. We then ended the day by planting some regret flowers. I know that I'm gonna have to just dig them all up later, but hey, we gotta get that 3 stars. The next day starts off with Tom Nook getting a phone call. He gets a phone call from the 3 villagers that we asked to come back to our island, so we get busy on placing down our first bridge, as well as placing down the 3 plots that Tom Nook gave us. We then tackle the tedious task of decorating the interior of those plots and the exterior. I don't know why, but this part of the game always takes so long for me. Tom Nook then almost gives me a kiss, but then changes his mind and gives me fences instead. It's okay, I forgive you, Tom Nook, this time. And because I don't know what to do with those fences, I decide to place them all around resident service. That is like my go-to place to put these first initial fences. We then end our day by learning our first reaction from Bam. Thank you so much, Bam. The next day started off a bit eerie. I don't know why they have this shot of resident service like that, but it's just a little bit too creepy for me. We then said hello to Stitches. He was the first one to come and move onto our island. We also bumped into Harvey, so we made sure that we stopped and said hello to him. We then learned how to customize from Tom Nook. We made a wooden wardrobe, and we also said hello to Mabel on her way out of the store. And just watch the way that we turned to look at Timmy and Tommy. It's so creepy to me. It's something about it. We then ended our day by planting some more regret flowers. We're just gonna end up filling the whole island with regret. The following day was creepy as well, with this snow fog thing happening. I don't know what's going on. We then said hello to Cookie, and we are definitely going to have to eventually change her house. The next couple of days, not too much happened, besides the fact that I accidentally ignored Stitches on my way to say hello to Eunice. I said hi to her real quick and came right back out, and it looked like Stitches was waiting for me, but whenever I talked to him, he seemed to have completely forgotten what he wanted to say. The guilt in me is real. I then bought everything that I could from Mabel. I just wanted to get her store on my island, get that over with. And the following day, I realized that Leaf is a sloth. I don't know why, but I never noticed that before. We then finally got Isabel on our island. That just means we are one step closer to getting 3 stars, doing Project KK, and unlocking terraforming. We then were able to craft our campsite, place it down, and pray to the Animal Crossing gods that we get a good campsite villager. The next day, Lottie ended up coming by to say hello, and I just want to take a moment to appreciate the way that she runs off is so iconic. I then end up spending a ridiculous amount of bells on reactions. I do not remember having to pay this much for these reactions when Festival first came out. Let me know, did we always have to pay for them, or did we just get them? I then end up trashing Timmy and Tommy's shop by throwing confetti everywhere. They didn't seem too fazed about it. They even thanked me as I left. Isabel then informs me that it is Stitch's birthday. I was not prepared, so I did what any other good friend would do. I got a last minute gift. I wrapped it right before going over there and crossed my fingers that he liked it, which thankfully I think he did. I then rushed over to see who the campsite villager was. I was so nervous, and it turned out to be Huck. I am okay with that. It could have been a lot worse. Not exactly who we're looking for, but I will take it. We then were finally able to get island evals from Isabel, and honestly, I wasn't expecting much for the first reading, and of course, we only got 1 star. So we hopped over to a Nook Mile island, and we found a dream name for this island. We got Marina, and we quickly invited her back. We then placed a bunch of items all over the island. We are just really trying to focus on getting that 3-star rating over and done with. The next day we went back to Isabel asking about our island evals. I wasn't expecting 3 stars or anything yet, but I was super excited to see that it was 2. That just means that we needed that 1 more villager to move on the island and we would be golden. And let me tell you, I was shook when I saw Dell on that Nook Mile island. I did not know what to do. If you guys haven't seen my videos, on my January island, I am looking for all robot villagers, and I need Dell on my island. I did end up asking Dell to move onto our island with the intent of my other character asking him to move onto theirs. So we will have to make that exchange at some point. And with that last villager moved in, we asked Isabel about our island evals, and of course, she gave us 3 stars. So yeah, that should probably catch you up on everything I've done so far for this island. I think in the next one, I will probably go into more detail as far as what I'm thinking about for a theme, but let me know down below if you have an idea of what it could be. I will still be working on our January island, so do not worry. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!